The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts Kevin Newell and Jillian Luke, right here on Reality Radio 101. To send us an email us right now, realityradio101@yahoo.com. And now, your hosts of Canadian Cigar Scene, Julian Luke and Kevin Newell.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Canadian Cigar Scene. I'm sitting here with my compadre, Julian. How you doing, bud?
Consigliere. I got a promotion.
Oh, there we go.
Now the consigliere.
Yeah, we got a banger tonight, eh?
We do.
Oh shit, baby. Sorry, I swore. But before we start, I gotta say it's the first time I think in this is our 26th show,
Something like that. 26 weeks.
It's the first time we've had that lava lamp.
The
lava lamp is lit, baby.
I got to think this is something to do with the atomic ballroom or something.
some crazy stuff's going on. But let me tell you, we have a fantastic show, and you know what? We are going to cut right to the chase after you tell us why the hell we're doing this.
This is all about educating people across Canada so they know about the amazing things that are happening on the Canadian cigar scene.
And there's a ton of stuff going on in the Canadian cigar scene. And speaking of the Canadian cigar scene, we have pulled off a big one here tonight, folks. We have on the line from Joyzy, Jose Blanco, the legend. Hello, Jose, you there?
Hey, what's happening? What's up with these crazy Canadians, Kevin and Julian? Rocking.
He's the legend. We got the legend on the line. How you doing, man?
Everything good. You know, talking to you guys that are, I would say, one of the prime leaders, not only as store owners, but as people on social media, educating people and bringing a lot of fun and excitement to our industry. To me, it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to communicate with you guys and all the people, the hundreds and thousands of people that listen to your show every week.
Oh, thank you very much. You're too kind, Jose. So I gotta say, I mean, there was a big move in your life there. I mean, you guys just moved from the Dominican up to Jersey, right?
Yes, we moved in. We flew in on last Sunday, but we moved into the apartment on Tuesday. We're waiting for our things to clear customs. I think they clear customs today. It was a move that we, even though we're going to go back to Dominican Republic a lot, but we had to come up here. The contacts, the people, the events, the consumers, just being, in the face of the people, talking to the people, visiting shops. It's something for a new company like me and Emma that we really we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was a given.
Well, it just shows your dedication to your business. You know, I mean, to make the move and move the entire family. Well, you know what, you got to be committed to that, right? And kudos to you for that. Let's just back up for a second. Let people know. Give people a little, just a sort of a quick sort of who the hell is Jose Blanco thing. I mean, where did you start? I mean, how did you get into the business? And how long have you been in the business?
That's a long story, but to make it short, my great-grandfather grew tobacco, my grandfather grew tobacco, my cousins grew tobacco, my father grew tobacco. So, like in the summer, we used to go to where I make my cigars at Tabacalera Palma, Hochi's father. And around 13, 14, we started to sort tobacco, things like that. And I started smoking my first cigars maybe at 14. The old man caught me and he said, you can't smoke till you're 16. You know, I respected that, even though once in a while I would throw in a cigar. So really, I officially started to smoke at 16, and I've been smoking now for 48 years. And then I worked my way, you know, in the summers, and then started smoking basically Dominican cigars, Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, there was no really thing with Honduras or Nicaragua. Teamo was out there, which, you know, Teamo used to be a big thing in the northeast of the States. And, you know, as the years, you know, passed by, I started always to go to the factory, you know, started blending cigars with my uncle. Basically, it was Dominican tobacco at that time. We would have Cameroon wrapper, Indonesia wrapper, some Dominican wrappers. And that was basically what it is. And then, you know, I started at La Aurora. Then I was 2 years with Joya de Nicaragua. Now, for the past 2 years, Em and I have had our own company, Las Cumbres Tobacco, and 3 line extensions.
So let's talk about those the lines that you've developed, you and Emma both together. I mean, your Senorial was probably one of the groundbreakers for you for, you know,
yes, and to be honest, one of our biggest events, and it was maybe not the best time to do it, was when we last year came up in February, and we had the event at the store. We had about 80 or 90 guys just go through the store that day. It was totally snowing. People drove 3, 4, 5 miles to come over. Then we have 50-plus guys for the seminar. That was really interesting. And like I've said, you know, Canada is not a huge market compared to, you know, the United States, Spain, Germany, but it's a market of passionate people.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you guys in Canada have to pay what cost us $5 here in the States, up to $25 there, and are still smoking, and you're still supporting the stores, and you're still, you know, doing your herbs and doing your parties, it tells a lot about people, because there's a lot of people in countries where the taxes are very, very high. They just completely have stopped smoking. But, you know, even though with all the adversity of the taxation and smoking ban, still, you know, the Canadians are very, you know, very good and positive smokers. They love cigars up there. They don't smoke more, basically, because of the smoking bans. You got to take into your factor in also the cold. But more than anything else, it's ridiculous, the prices of cigars in Canada.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the major challenges that we face. You know, and I mean, it's starting to happen all around Europe and places like that. Have you noticed that in the European countries as well, Britain and places like that as well, or?
No, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think with all the problems that are in the world, and that's why I said that sometimes the countries, or especially the governments, don't have their priorities.
Mm-hmm.
With all the crap that's happening right now, you would think the government would not be chasing people that are smoking a legal product and that are paying taxes. But going back to Senorial was our first line.
Mm-hmm.
We started that in September of 2013. And then after 7 months of different blends, we started the production. And after 120 days of the cigars resting, we launched them in June in New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Then we went to the RTVA show.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went through a whole month of a whole year of sales. Then at the show last year, we came out with Freya. We came out with the Senorial Maduro. In the meantime, we did the 65th anniversary. It was only 22,000 cigars, but it was a limited edition that was very well received.
Mm-hmm.
Then we do our Senorial Lancero twice a year. We do batches of 10,000. It's not a big seller, but there are a lot of hardcore smokers that really, really love the Lancero. I'm a big fan of Lanceros.
I've always loved the Lanceros too, and you know what? It's just it goes back to, you know, talking about your blending seminar and talking about, you know, wrapper leaf and the flavor that you get from it. And I just find that with a Lancero that the flavor is just so much more accentuated. You know, you get so much more wrapper leaf flavor. You know. Let's talk about your blending seminar. We did a thing with Jose for everybody, just to let everybody know, last year, and we did a blending seminar. So we've been through it once, and once is never enough to go through this with this character I'm on the phone with here. He explains everything. Maybe you can just go through what you're trying to what's the end goal of the whole thing of this blending seminar and how it works, Jose?
Okay. The first thing is that I'm the first to admit, as part of the industry, that one of the greatest weakness our industry has had, and it's all over the world, is the lack of education.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that the more educated the consumer is and the store owner, it's better for us overall. It's a better experience. 90% of the people, maybe 90% plus, do not know how to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
People have an idea, well, I like this, I like that. The first thing is that 2% of the people do not retrohale. When you don't retrohale, you're really not picking up what smoking is about. And there's nothing wrong with it if you don't retrohale. Because the thing in your mouth, you only pick up if it's bitter, it's sweet, it's sour,
Mm-hmm.
or it's salty. When you blow it through the nose, that's when you really pick up the strength. You're going to pick up, because what you pick up, a cigar could be meaty, peaty, metallic, sharp, young, sweet. But what kind of sweetness are you picking up? Is it the sweetness of a milk chocolate, or is it the bitter sweet of a Godiva?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when people say it's leathery or it's woodsy. It's that you don't lick that. It's note that goes to your subconscious, to your conscious, of something that reminds you. So when you're retrohaling the cigar, you're blowing it through the nose, not inhaling. Retrohaling, that's when you pick up like all the different notes. In your mouth, you pick up 4 things. And the scientists said that for the retrohale to the nose, between 350 to 375 different notes you pick up. Some people say it's spice. Well, what spice are you picking up?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a red pepper, a black pepper, a white pepper? When people say earthy, well, sometimes people tend to confuse earthiness with muddiness. How many times have you smoked a cigar and you go like, it really tastes like mud? Because good earth is good, but a cigar that tastes muddy is a cigar that's made with leaves that are very inferior and have not been very well kept in the warehouses. So when we do our seminar, one of the things we tell people is that people tend to confuse flavor with strength. You can have a mild cigar that's full flavor. You can have a strong cigar that's just strength, strength, strength. One of the misconceptions, the majority of people all over the world, is when they say, well, this cigar is full flavor, full body. If it doesn't knock you on the floor, it's not considered full flavor, full body. No, that's not a full flavor, full body cigar. That's just a very, very strong cigar. And you cannot confuse strength with body or with flavor, because a lot of people tend to confuse that.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to listen to you talk about the retrohale, and I always remember teaching one of my good friends the retrohale one night, and it was just hilarious to watch him. It was just like a completely eye-opening thing. He was just blown away. He had no idea what it was, and this guy smoked cigars for 15 years. Had no idea. Jose, it was crazy. So, I always remember, I'm not sure if it was you that mentioned this to me one time, when you said when you walk into a bakery, you want to taste the bread, but it's the smell that you think it just overpowers you, and it's your nasal passage that has so many, receptors in it. You're so right on that one. So right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So during the seminar, what we do is you sit down with everybody and you go through a cigar that you specifically blended that has different wrapper leaves throughout the cigar, correct?
Yes. Everybody has we give everybody a cigar that has 4 different wrappers. We ask everybody what they think to describe first the characteristics of the first cigar, of the first wrapper, the second wrapper, the third wrapper, the fourth wrapper. But during that time, we ask everybody what type of wrapper they think there is and from what country. The main thing with this is for people to understand that every country has a different profile and different characteristics to it. It's like you talk about sweetness. I'll give you an example of 2 wrappers that are very sweet and the sweetness totally different. Connecticut broadleaf and Negro San Andres from Mexico. Characteristics, they're both earthy, they're both sweet, they're both very aromatic, but the sweetness on them is totally, totally different. Even the bit of spice on them is totally different.
Okay, so I'm gonna move forward on this one. Okay, I mean, what you're talking about just seems like you're so much more. Your palate is on such a higher level than basically mine. And I'm pretty sure if we back up for one sec, didn't I get all those wrapper leaves correct when you asked me when I was the first person you asked? I think I got them all right, didn't I?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you busted my balls, every one, didn't you? Oh, yeah.
Nah.
That was classic.
You'd be surprised. The majority of people in the seminar, they only get one wrapper.
Yeah.
But then they get one wrapper because it's Connecticut. But then they get the country wrong.
Yeah.
I've had people that are so-called bloggers and supposed to be gurus, and they go through the seminar. They don't get any of the wrappers right.
Go figure, right?
We don't listen. We don't expect anybody to become overnight connoisseurs, but
No.
this is a fact. Everybody that's done my seminar has told me. I've met them the second time, third time, or they inbox me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or my email or said, after I did the seminar with you, I look at cigars in a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
I evaluate cigars in a different way. I appreciate cigars in a different way. And one of the things, and I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that people make all over the world, and I tell them is this: never ever judge a cigar by the color of the wrapper.
That's
You
right.
know how many people look at a dark wrapper and say it's going to be strong?
Yep.
No.
I hear it every day in the shop.
Not necessarily.
That's right.
If you look at the cigars that are Maduro, the majority of them are medium,
Yeah.
and very few are really full-body cigars.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's about the blend that's inside it as well, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So, let's you have an outstanding palate. Like, how do you get that palate? Do you build a palate? Are you born with the palate? How does that work?
No, to be honest, I know people that have been smoking for 30 years that can't take the difference between a Swisher Sweets and the best cigar in the world because they just don't have it.
Okay.
I believe that the majority of people can have the ability, not the ability, could train their palate
Mm-hmm.
to develop. But the people that never develop the palate are the people that only smoke one country, whether it's Cuba
Mm-hmm.
or Nicaragua or Honduras or Dominican. And with Dominican, it's really more of an opportunity because cigars in the Dominican Republic are more blended than cigars in Nicaragua and in Honduras. We use more different tobaccos. We use a lot of Brazil. We use Peru. We use Nicaragua. We use Honduras. Basically, Honduras likes to use only a lot of Honduran tobacco. In Nicaragua, I would say 70-80% of the people that make cigars there use tobaccos from Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not so open-minded or diversified
Okay.
as we are. But the only way you really get to develop your palate is smoking different sizes, different cigars, different brands, and from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, every country has a different taste profile.
And so you could smoke the same Senorial in 3 different sizes and get 3 totally different smoking experiences. Is that correct?
It's not going to be that different because, like in the Corona Gorda, the smoke is going to be a little bit more intense on the strength, but on the flavor. That's why it took us so long. We tried to get them to be as similar as possible. Now, you're going to smoke a 6x60, and it's going to have the intensity of the flavors, but it's not going to have so much strength as a Corona Gorda
Mm-hmm.
or a Lancero would have, and that's because of the ratio of filler to binder to wrapper.
Right. So, do you have, you know what? We were going to cut for a break, but you know what, Jose, to hell with it. We're just going to keep going right through, okay? If you okay with that?
Oh, I'm okay. I can talk for days.
Oh, I know it. Do you have a favorite cigar you've ever blended?
Do I have what?
Do you have a favorite cigar that you've blended yourself?
No,
is there a favorite?
Most of the cigars that I blended, the CYB, the 107, the 1495, the Cien Años, the Puro Vintage 2003, the CYB, la Aurora Cien Años, the Senorial Maduro. I mean, to me, I think the best to be honest, best two cigars I ever blended is the original Cien Años and the Senorial 65th anniversary. It's amazing. And I'll tell you something, the Senorial Maduro also, I mean, we have so much of that. That's incredible. I would say the majority of my blends have been really, really good, consistent blends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picky for that.
Yeah. Do you find it's difficult to get the consistency? You just have to you just have to have the tobacco. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, that's one advantage that we have. Hochi, my cousin, is probably the biggest independent grower of tobacco in DR. Mm-hmm. Right now, he just finished 2 new warehouses. Let me see, 38,000 square feet for 2 new farms that he has. Hochi could go 3 or 4 years without buying a leaf of tobacco.
Really?
And
wow.
That's one of the things to have an inventory of tobacco. He keeps between 14 to 15,000 bales of tobacco all the time.
Wow, that's crazy. So you and Emma, do you have plans to bring your blending seminar back to Canada?
Of course. Anytime we're invited, especially by Victory Cigars and our friends of House of Horvath, of course.
Perfect. So we can look forward to an appearance at Victory Cigars next spring.
We'll see this spring, or maybe May or June. We'll see.
Sounds good. I guess we're not dragging you up. You're in the snow now again, anyway, so it really doesn't matter anymore, does it? I don't know what you were thinking there, man, but geez, do you have like someone that was influential or a mentor that you learned your craft from, or you're inspired by, that helped you to get to where you are today?
Well, to be honest, it's divided like in 2 stages of my life. My father, that lived from almost 89, smoked 5 cigars a day. And since I was a little kid, growing up in New York, I remember he gave some cigars from DR, and I think at that time he used to smoke Dutch Masters. Okay. And at Dutch Masters at that time, those were made with Cuban finger and Habana wrapper and all those things. I think they were like 3 for $25. I'm talking about 1950.
Really?
55, 56.
Okay.
And my father, who had lived in Cuba as an exile also sometimes, would always go there and bring back cigars. I think he would bring back, I think it was A. Chapman and something called Cazadores at that time. He always used to mention that. So my father had a lot to do, and he had a good palate. Even when I was blending cigars, I would always bring him 2 or 3 cigars. Mm-hmm. And then another person that helped me out a lot was Benji Menendez. I consider him an uncle. I've always called him Uncle Benji. And also Guillermo Leon's father, Fernando Leon, helped me out a lot. Henke Kellner also gave me a lot of ideas when I started back in 98, 99. Because one thing is for you to be blending cigars, and one thing is for you to be making cigars. It's totally different. Even though I've been smoking for 48 years and been in the industry directly, indirectly for, 40 years also, it's not the same thing. Blending is an art, and a lot of people just don't understand that it's really an art. Mm-hmm.
And it takes a lot of time to actually, to get to where you're going to develop, you're going to build a cigar and make it and put it on the shelves, right? It's a difficult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. It's like one of your babies. It's like giving birth for you, right? It's crazy. All right, loaded question here. If you could smoke a cigar with any one person in the world, alive or dead, who would it be?
Shit, I've been asked that one before.
Damn it, I was trying to be original.
Well, I've always said if I could smoke a cigar with somebody else again, it would have to be definitely my father. But outside of my father, I would probably say Winston Churchill.
Is that right? Yeah, that'd be a hell of a conversation, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, oh boy. Now, do you have a drink of choice? Is there something specific you usually drink when you have a cigar, or is it just
my look? I've said it a million times. My favorite pairing is coffee. Yeah. And of course, if I'm going to have a drink, it has to be a good rum, mm-hmm. or a good scotch.
Okay. But typically, it's the coffee, right?
Coffee, yeah. Coffee to me is my favorite pairing.
Okay.
I drink coffee like crazy.
Yeah. So what is there a new blend you're working on right now? What do you got in the works?
We're working on blends, sizes, maybe for extensions. We're going to see what's happening in the market. I think I'm seeing a lot of the big ring gauges here just kind of slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people that used to smoke a lot of 6x60s going down to 6x54. I've seen people that were huge on 7x70 going down to 6x60.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Do you think that the gates closing on the larger ring gauges is just starting to see a little bit of a slowdown?
I've seen it decrease a little bit. Look, I did a survey about a year and a half ago because or maybe 2 years now, I was curious about the big ring gauges. So I asked, I think it was around 140, 150. It was between retailers, consumers, and bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
Why the big ring gauge? 3 things came up. First, it's a value thing. Second, it's a macho thing. Third, it's an American thing.
Those damn Americans. Look at me. I'm American. I can smoke
Tell me about it.
I can smoke a big cigar. Yeah. I like the classic guy that smoked the big cigar in about half an hour. Remember him telling you how to smoke? That was a great, That was a great story. So, are we going to see the? So, I'm assuming that House of Horvath, who distributes your cigars in Canada, will be bringing the Maduro up in the new year, and Freya.
Yes, I guess so.
Good stuff.
We're just waiting for our friends Leslie and Colin to just pull the trigger. We have seen a lot of, especially a lot of our Canadian friends that go down to Florida. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a guy in Arizona that I can't remember what part of Canada he was, but he was there in Arizona, and I told him to stop by my good friend Mitchell Hirsch, and they were out of Senorial Maduro, and I guess I don't know how he got him at another place. I think it was at Stag's. He got him there. So I hope that soon House of Horvath starts importing to our good Canadian buddies. Can get the sales up there.
Well, I hope so too, Jose. I hope so too. Emma's good? Everything's good?
Emma's good. Jasper's good. And,
Fantastic.
We're here in New Jersey. We'll be doing still a couple of more events before the year is over and, seeing how things continue.
Good for
Pray
you.
to God.
Good for you. Well, you know what? It's I can't say enough about you and Emma and your family and your cigars and just your whole. You're just inspirational. I mean, just for a man who's just on the go completely 24/7 all the time. It's amazing to see this guy go, people, and you are to be commended for all the years that you put in the tobacco business. You are a legend in the business, Jose, and I got to say thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show and talk with us too, Jack.
For me, no, one of these days, let's coordinate with Emma for next year too. She's been on a lot of shows here in the States. She gets a lot of requests, and she's just as passionate as I am. And with her blog, I mean, it's amazing. I think it's less than a year, it's got like 40,000 views, and
Crazy.
A lot of the things from her blog, a lot of stores are using it on 101 on their classes, about broadleaf, about the Cubans, about all those things. Because, to be honest, I can blend a cigar, I can sell cigars, but I can't write to save my life.
Very good. Well, Emma will be on our list of guests come January, guaranteed. And I'm sure she'll gladly come on too.
Oh yeah, she'll be happy to be on the show
for sure. Well, Jose, we got to get going here. We're going to have to let you go. Again, thank you very much for your time. It's been a fantastic show. Probably one of the best shows we've had, bar none. And
to me, to be with Kevin and Julian and Victory Cigars and all the BLTLs and SLTLs of Canada, to me, is a pleasure. Canada, in my heart, has always had a spot. I have a lot of good people that throughout the years have supported me, and I don't have words of gratitude to express how much I love the Canadians.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
No BS.
Thank you very much, Jose. Okay, we're going to let you go now. You make sure you have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will be talking to you in the New Year and getting Emma on the show, okay?
Okay.
All our best to Emma and Jasper.
Good night, guys.
All right,
Thanks
cheers.
a lot,
Take
guys.
care,
Good
Jose.
night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Well, there you go, people. I know, just a complete class act, eh, Ju?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that blending seminar he's talking about, if you get the opportunity wherever you're traveling and you find out he's in the neighborhood, do yourself a favor and attend.
That's right. I think we kind of blew through our break for this week, so we'll get 2 breaks next week, okay? Promise, honest Injun. Ju, quickly, let's... we got a few more days left before our Fender Precision Bass guitar donated by Big John Dufek goes to raffle. So Friday at 6 o'clock, we got John coming in to do the raffle. $10 a ticket. All the proceeds go to Youth Shelter in Oshawa. We've done really well with this so far. Let's push it over the top, people, and put some money towards a great charity.
Yeah.
Starting December 13th, which is next Sunday.
Somewhere
next Sunday. We start our 12 Gars of Christmas. Oh, buddy, and I've got some beauties. We're going to pull a couple things out of the old humidor.
the dusty humidor.
Oh, yeah. We got some age stuff that I was looking at that's going to be quite interesting. What do we got for cigar scene happenings, Stu?
Well, there's just one thing I want to mention, because I know time's tight and we don't want to hold up the next guest on Reality Radio 101. But there is a federal tobacco flavor ban scheduled to take effect on December 14th. Now, folks, this is going to change a lot of things in the country, because they're taking away any flavors that they've determined appeal to kids. So if they say grape or strawberry, regardless of the fact that there's yet to be a kid in Canada seen smoking a grape backwoods, they're banning it. So some key products: Phillies, backwoods, Leon Jimenez, vanillas, Tatianas, or honey teas. Any of those products, the majority of the product line is going to be banned. And again, that's federal. That's in every province and territory in the country. So if you want some of those products or to stock up, I'd recommend you get some soon. So December 14th is the date. And I guess the only other thing I want to mention is next week's guest. In the spirit of the season, Matt Renda is going to be coming back on. Matt's been a good interviewer here before, and he knows an awful lot about beer, and he runs the Bottomless Pint blog, and we're going to talk beer and cigars in light of the holiday season.
And we like beer.
And cigars.
Absolutely. One absolutely for sure.
That's not bad.
That's right.
I think you hit your quota, though.
That's right. Hey, we're really killing it with the new listeners. Thanks very much to the new listeners. Bangladesh. Do we have Barbados before? Hungary? Finland, back in Nepal again. So, again, thanks very much to everybody that's tuning in. It really means a lot. And you know what? It gives you a good indication of what the heck's going on in Canada. There is a burgeoning cigar scene here. And you know what? We're just showing everybody what the heck's going on up here. So I guess it's time to say sayonara to everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Don't forget the Christmas shop, everybody.
Yeah,
I've already got both my kids in a humidor, because it was just easy.
Jesus.
Too bad they're only 11 and 15.
Oh, God, you're going to hell. Couple more weeks before the shops close, so get out there and get your honey a cigar. Don't forget, email us radio@victorycigars.ca. You know us on Twitter. Horatio is Julian. I'm Victory Garman. Facebook and Instagram. We are Victory Cigars as well. So, again, everybody, thank you for listening to the Canadian Cigar Scene on Reality Radio 101. It is time to go and have a cigar.
You have been listening to Canadian Cigar Scene with your host Kevin Newell and Julian Luke right here on Reality Radio 101.